is called Purge. And you've seen me sad, and now it's time to see me angry. So, beware. I looked you in the eyes and said I wish you well. But what I meant to say is I hope you rot in hell. If I could build myself a time machine, I would climb quickly inside. I'd erase the moment you walked into my life. With your work boots on that warm Thursday night, you sat down in my restaurant with your big appetite. The food wasn't the only craving you had in mind, so the forces beyond us crossed our forsaken paths with mine, for reasons still unknown, and I still question why. Why, oh why did you walk into my life? Why did I not notice the demon inside you? Your disguise was transparent. Why did I not see through? It's crystal clear to me now that I was so blind. You took advantage of my heart, my soul, and my mind, and it all started the very instant your eyes met mine. But if I could, I would. I'd delete that moment in history, save myself and my family all of the misery of knowing such a piece of shit like you exists on God's green earth. For you have not brought mirth to this world since the day you were birthed, and even then you were less of a gift and more of a curse. You hold zero worth. You are nothing but a monster, a malignant disease, an apocalyptic toxin spreading with ease, excusing your thoughtless actions by spouting philosophy. But even Nietzsche would weep if he could see the dirty, disgusting, degrading things you tried to do to me beneath the trees. You looked me in the eyes with lust so madly and whispered in my ears, I want to fuck you so badly. Sadly, I saw then your duplicity. You never loved me, you just wanted my virginity, but buddy, you didn't get that from me. No. Your disrespect was tremendous, and it occurred constantly. You even meticulously rattled on about how you use 2/3 of your vocabulary when you speak to me, as if that made you big and strong instead of weak to know the roots of words and the etymologies in original Latin or ancient Greek, but you used diction as if it were a mask. It did not make you sound brilliant. It made you an egotistical, loquacious, condescending ass who pretended that the source was a substitute for class when in actuality your verboseness polluted speech as if it were a poisonous gas. With all your double talks and double binds, it was impossible to keep track of truth most times, especially when you twisted all truths into lies, then rewarded me whenever I compromised. You turned me into what I most despised. You hijacked my life like some sick terrorist attack. You stuck me in a war and told me to fight the people who had my back. You built me up, you broke me down until I would crack, all to get me in a sack. You are a cancer, and I was your only chance of a cure, and the attempt to save you had its own artificial allure. I was desperate, ignorant, and so immature, but you are the experience I wish I never had to endure. You are the detour I wish to undo. I'd go back in my time machine, and I wouldn't even look at you. I'd be the waitress across the room, the waitress you wished and you dreamed that you knew. Because I know now, you are the sickest bastard I have ever seen, all caught up in a web of hypocrisy, constantly criticizing the bourgeois, thinking your low-life ass is somehow above the law, while you sat back and picked out false flaws in a system you could barely begin to comprehend without participating fully in. But then again, you condemned the very upbringing you were raised in, and you made me feel strange to think that people had the capacity to change, that society could have its priorities rearranged. But you never listened to me. You just waited to speak, thinking your thoughts were phenomenal, your ideas were unique, and there was power behind your every critique. But your consciousness consisted of quotes from books. You never thought for yourself. It was just too much work. Nothing ever came from your own mind or your own heart. But then again, you're a delusional fucking retard. You try to show me your superstition as if it were some virtuous mission to mold the world into your catastrophic vision. But the world would be best if you left me and everyone else on it alone. I wish you never even tried to crawl inside my life, my mind, my home. You tried to break my backbone, condition me with Stockholm Syndrome, be one of your cult-following clones. But my mind and my heart belong with my friends and family at home, which is why I'm not still one of your mindless drones. So you go be king of your imaginary throne, but for the rest of time, for the rest of my life, I will regret following you into the unknown. I wish I never got caught up in your stupid mess. And it scares the shit out of me that I must confess. I was in love with the idea of love, so obsessed that I escaped from you, and for that I am blessed. But you are the person I will never forgive nor forget. You are the reason my family fought until nothing but pain was left. Lessons were learned, but I failed the test. Bridges are burned, but the essential ones were kept. So tonight, I write I bleed you from me. I purge you from my system, killing every last microbe of your disease from my body, from every single one of my cells. So when I looked you in the eyes and said, I wish you well, you now know I meant go rot in hell.